Hi all, it's Ragarath. I am back, and Techtonica, or Firehose Games, have released a new video about 0.1.1, and there's some more details and Q&A stuff. So let's have a watch together and see what it's all about.
Hey folks, this is Joey from Firehose Games, and I'm back with another update for Techtonica. This week's update is a little bit different. We have a massive blog post for you to sink your teeth into. It's all about the QA process. If you've ever been curious about what quality assurance looks like in a video game studio, we figured let's talk to you about it. We're dealing with a lot of bugs and QOL features right now since we just launched into early access.
That's what I like about Firehose Games. They show what's going on.
I'm going to talk about that for a second and give you the Cliff Notes edition of what's going on in the background in Firehose. But before we do that, I did want to tell you that 0.1.1 is still on pace for late August.
Late August
you want
for
details,
1.1,
I get it.
guys.
We're not being cagey for no reason. I'll talk more about this later in the video. But today, we're going to focus on the QA process. Next week and the week after, we should have a lot more succinct details for 0.1.1.
So if it's going to be late August, what are we looking at there? What's the date today? It's the 8th. Then I'm recording this, but I think they released this on the 7th. So we're probably talking about the 20th, maybe 2-3 weeks, guys. So that's looking good. They obviously don't want to release too much about what's going on, but hey.
0.1.2 is still slated. We updated the roadmap last week. We split the quality of life update into 2.
The roadmap, if you haven't seen it, guys, is on Steam, I believe. So if you have a look on Steam, they'll show you what their roadmap is all about. I will try and put it up here so that you can see it.
And then 0.2 is still on our calendar as the base building update. So the roadmap is true on Steam. If you
Okay, so there's no need for me to do that because he's just put it up. But so he's scrolling through the roadmap now, and as you said, it is definitely on Steam. So go take a look.
Check it out. I might even have it rolling by on screen right now if I felt like doing that in editing. I don't know. What do you want from me? So I want to talk about QA. The crux of everything here centers on the monorail bugs. Right now, the monorail does not play nice with certain power network layouts, and especially not nice with the high voltage cables.
Have any of you got to monorail yet? I'm still doing my first playthrough because I'm making videos on it, and it's taken me a little while to get through everything. Have any of you got to monorail and power network and noticed these issues? Let me know in the comments below.
This system is really kind of crappy. It's an unfortunate bug, and it's a frustrating one because it hits players way late in their sessions. So folks are building these massive factories, and they go to use the HVC
I can imagine if you've got to end game and you've already placed everything and bits are interfering with each other, it's definitely going to be a big problem. So it's good that they're looking to sort that out. And again, this is what I love about Firehose. They're very, very strong on making us as gamers like their product.
It's just broken. This bug is important to us. It's one that we are working on, but it's not going to be fixed in 0.1.1. And we wanted to get into a little bit of the why. That's what this is all about.
Okay, so it looks like we're not getting that fix that he was talking about until 1.2 perhaps.
So the blog post and a lot of what I'm summarizing comes from Rob, our QA lead here at Firehose. Rob has a ton of experience in QA. He's worked on several games, and he shipped several games, and he knows what he's talking about. And if you really want to sink your teeth into this topic, I suggest hitting the blog post. It's at the link below. It's lengthy, but it's worth it, I promise. And Rob's also a really fun guy and a fun writer,
link that below in mine as well, guys, as well as this video.
What's going on here? The monorail bug is larger than a single string of code, right? It involves two super complex systems. There's the actual mass transit system, the moving of goods across distances, right? And then there are the power networks. Both of these systems alone, like independently, are complex. Once we mix these two together and we start to get edge case hits, it's a mess. fixing it is more than just fixing like one or two things. In order to fix the monorail, we have to fix a lot of stuff. There's an analogy in the post that Rob talks about. This isn't the process of just like fixing a single light switch. The light switch is broken for us, right? But in order to fix the light switch, we have to tear into the drywall and reroute wiring and all kinds of other stuff. That's why we're not on pace for 0.1.1. We had to make a decision, right? Do we take a single bug that is hitting, it's annoying, it's hitting late game users, or do we kind of try to fix a lot of different stuff and add quality of life things that are impacting everyone? So that's why you're still getting in 0.1.1 a slew of things. I'll surface more as we nail them down, but right now we know for sure you're getting in-game metrics. We're like 95% sure that we're going to add a lot more volume sliders and volume controls, so you'll be able to actually turn UI volume up and down. Initial core composer reworks are on their way, so we're totally overhauling that system over time, but there are some initial things that we want to take care of that should help with performance and also with some of the clarity on how the system works. These are all QoL updates.
Okay, so we've already I've done a video on where they mentioned about the metrics on the machines, so go and watch that. I'll put a link up above somewhere. The video, they haven't talked about the volume sliders, but apparently going to add more. That's good for controlling the different levels. I tend to just put music down and keep everything at standard anyway, so I don't think it's going to affect me too much. But the core thing, it sounds like they've noticed that causing FPS problems, which it does when you have a load of cores built up. So it looks like they are hopefully going to address that somehow, as in, I wonder if they're going to make it so the core composer is a storage for all the cores, so it doesn't have so many on screen at once. I don't know. That'll be good to see.
That we want for 0.1.1, and in order to squeeze them in, we had to kind of say, hold on, monorail, we'll get to you in a bit. These are more pressing matters. If you really want to know the how and why we arrived at that, again, read the blog post. It's in the description. Rob did a wonderful job kind of explaining how QA works. And in fact, Lauren and I were talking about it. Lauren's the other community folk on Techtonica. This is like QA for dummies. It's the intro to what QA really does in a game and kind of how it works. So I suggested you read it anyway if you have even a feigning interest in this stuff. There's what else is coming, right, to 0.11 and 0.12. More. Like I said, we're not trying to be cagey here. The few that I've mentioned are locked in or virtually locked in. Meetings are happening literally as I'm recording this video with the engineering team as they go over like what can we definitely squeeze into 1.1 and what are it's going to have to wait until 0.1.2. Several things. They're coming. The patch notes will be detailed. We will preview the patch before it's out so that you can get a good sense of what to expect. And we'll keep you updated here on YouTube, on our blog, in the mailing list, wherever. If you want to talk to us, like all of the effort that we're spending on Techtonica right now is focused on making the community happy. The best places to do so remain our Discord, discord.gg/Techtonica, the Steam forums, we're still there, and the feedback site. Now that we've kind of gotten off of the launch week, we've been able to attend more to the feedback site, so you'll see us there as well. That's feedback.techtonicagame.com.
Yeah, I'll just emphasize that, guys. Give them feedback. They listen really well. Firehose are doing really well at listening to what we want from the game. So if you do have any really constructive feedback, go to that feedback site that he's just mentioned. I'll put a www linky thing up, but make sure you help them out. Make the game we want.
That site has an upvote downvote system. Use it. We're working on the back end. It will definitely change over time, but that's where we are. So no monorail solve for 0.1.1. We're working on it. I promise. There's a lot of other stuff coming in the quality of life update that should be good for everyone. That's it. Thanks for hanging out this week. Shorter update. Dig into the blog post if you like, and I will see you soon.
Okay, guys. So it looks like we might get the monorail fix if they get around to it by 0.1. I'm not American. 0.1.2. Which is the second quality of life update, but he didn't put a definite on that, but they sort of implied that they might get around to it. But again, it's if they get time. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this with me, please give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks all. Bye.